Essentially, we work explicitly to improve the quality of the job for the direct care worker, believing that in turn that's going to improve the quality of the care for the clients that they serve. These workers are the front line taking care of people that you and I love, and they are not afforded economic security in any way. My name is Jody Sturgeon. I'm the president of Paraprofessional Healthcare Institute, or PHI. PHI is about 20 years old. We were founded out of our affiliated home care agency, Cooperative Home Care Associates, with a mission of quality jobs and quality care.
I'm Steve Dawson with PHI, Paraprofessional Healthcare Institute. These jobs, direct care workforce jobs of home care workers, nursing home workers, it's the fastest growing job in the country. So if you care about the quality of care for elders and people with disabilities, you can't ignore this workforce.
So essentially working explicitly to improve the job of the direct care workforce, those being personal care aides, home health aides, and certified nursing assistants. One of the beauties of PHI is that we bring a dual approach to our work. So we are both practitioner and advocate, and we work on the practice side, and as I said, work with employers and try to make the actual job in a facility or in a home a better job, but we also work trying to influence public policy.
Our policy work drives resources to our practice activities. It builds our capacity to do even more in the field. So that means that we can leverage change in the elder care disability services field and in the low-income workforce development field.
We have been working on changing what is a rule that I'm sure most people aren't even aware of, which is that since 1975, direct care workers, home health aides specifically, as part of the direct care workforce, is bigger than home health aides, but home health aides were not eligible for the protection of minimum wage and overtime. We've worked with a coalition of folks, played a strong leading role in advocating to have that changed. Last year, that rule was overturned. We are in the implementation phase. It is a major victory for hundreds of thousands of workers.
So Heron, who had been a funder before, came along and said, yeah, that's nice, but you should really be doing a lot more. So we said, okay. They funded a business plan with us where we designed a $9 million capital ask. Immediately, Heron made a commitment of $1.5 million. What the business plan promises in return is to double our program impact, to build our capacity out, particularly in the managed long-term care space, which is, those of you who are in the healthcare world at all know, managed care is where the entire system is headed in terms of how dollars will be paid and services will be provided, and we need to have a presence in that space.
Today we're seeing an increased need for workers to have a good, solid base of understanding about dementia on the entire spectrum of dementia. And I personally have experience of that with my grandmother, who has moved, I would say, from the early onset stage into the next stage, and she struggles mightily with letting anyone in her home. So I've been able to see a home health aide very patiently navigate my very sweet grandmother to me, but who does not want a worker in her home. And the compassion and the understanding that that worker has is something that's hard to explain if you haven't seen it. America today is not the land of opportunity it once was. Jobs are poor quality jobs. They're low wage jobs. And for me, the most drastic change we could make in the world would be to change that for those kids that are born in poverty today.